General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni mutabani we eno gyawunyedda anti Kyagulanyi yabagirira yabagamba nti tagenda kubanguyiza kintu kino agenda kibazibuwaliza ate agenda kubanuunako ssente zonna ze babadde babba nga bazibba ku ggwanika lya Uganda bazibba ku musolo gwa Uganda bazibba eziweerezebwa abazungu okujja n'okukola emirimu okukulaakulanya eggwanga lyaffe bo ne bazibba ne bazikolamu ebyabwe nti agenda zibajjako zonna bazeemaleko oluvannyuma gavumenti yaabwe agikubba ekibu nga bavuba lunkupe baleka kukola tonde kanyuma kati nno amawanga agabadde gawa General Museveni ensimbi gongedde okusiba nati bwe vunyu ate kyafuna wadde ekikumi obwavu bumutta kyova olaba kati anoonya wajja ensimbi takyalabawo ate nno n'omusango oguli mu kkooti y'ensonda gumuhantinga ne sanctions ezeyongera buli olukedde nga bino byonna nno maanyi ga President Kyagulanyi buli lwafuluma eggwanga n'agenda mbazungu eyo n'abatabbira ne bajjula ne bategeera nti batutegedde nno ffe tuwagira nakyemalira nga baleetayo sanction nga basalako ssente kati General Museveni alaba eggwanga ligenda alituuse ku mulembe gwa Amini bamutako sanctions ne bamusalako ensimbi zonna n'alaba nga eggwanga limugendako paka lyagwanda linnume y'ekigo kano ne Museveni watuuse alaba ekiseera kye ekyokugwa kituukiridde kuba abasajja tebakyamuwa kikumi wadde n'akamu n'akeddagala gavumenti egenda kugwa ate bakituuse ku kutyobola eddembe ly'obuntu banaye guno musango munoope guno musango munene General Museveni naye asobeddwa babakikwata naye ate abazungu bataddeko akazito lwa kutyobola eddembe ly'abuntu asooka okulaba akatambi kano okawuliriza bulungi General Museveni ebibye si byangu.
That we show solidarity with our brothers, those who were incarcerated, many of them were breadwinners, so their families are suffering. So even in the case of Masaba, and these are some of the things that the government must be held to account, Masaba. So what are the economic costs of abducting somebody, who has been a breadwinner? What psychological social psychological problems do you cause to this family, to this community? So it's not people support not just their families, they support their extended families, they support their communities, and these are problems these are dislocations that which come at a cost. Yeah. So even the families that disintegrate because someone has been incarcerated in prison. So all these are problems that have been caused, but we need to show solidarity. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw to a close, the next phase that I would really want to engage the audience, and let me repeat my number. If you don't have it, please, my number is +46793102278. So call in or call in and ask questions if you have any. But before we come to that, let me ask Comrade Robert Kituzi to come in and speak a little bit more about the actions that are lined up within across the EU that are going to be launched in support of our comrades, of our abducted comrades, but in particular in support of our comrade Faustin Masaba. We are going to demand for comrade Faustin Masaba. We're going to demand for comrade Hussein Mumia. We're going to demand for all the abducted victims. We are going to demand for justice for all political prisoners. They must be freed. And we are launching actions across Europe. We're talking about Sweden. We're talking about Denmark. We're talking about Germany. We're talking about France. We're talking about Switzerland. And we're talking about Austria. So this is really to make a statement that we are not going to allow the dictator to intimidate us. We're not going to allow the dictator to violate our rights. People have our rights are guaranteed by the Constitution, our rights to assemble, our rights to speak, our rights to speak are enshrined in the Constitution, and Museveni is not going to stop us. We are going to stop him. Comrade Comrade Kitunzi, please give us your submission there. Then we invite in the public.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Yes, we have a few things lined up, and I think I'll need to reiterate something which my comrade Mugisha mentioned. This, what we're going to roll out is the moral card. Yeah, we need to really show not only Masava, but right now he seems to be at the forefront. And we need to make him proud. This gentleman has been very, very, very instrumental in driving most of our programs, whether by new or social-oriented programs for the people in Uganda. So we really need to make a big statement. Yeah, we are not going to allow General Museveni to make this a usual walk in the park, that every now and then he will pick up someone like a chicken and think it is business as usual. So what we've decided is to do a pan-European demonstration, courtesy for just the gentleman Masava Fostrin. So those on the ground, you can do your beat, especially the people in Bali or the people from the mountains. But us here in Europe, we're going to be on the street. We're going to be on the Twitter. So yeah, what have we done? I think everyone is going to be getting their permission by Monday. We're going to be printing our posters for those countries where there's no any ban or to do any postering around the city. We're going to be, Masava, and the poster we're releasing is going to roll out from Monday until Friday in all major cities. We're going to be printing out flyers. This is going to be general about the 18 and all other abducted people and the incarcerated prisoners. This we're going to be giving them out to the populace, normal people. You just go on the subway and then you just give out these flyers to people who are coming out on the train, on the bus. We need to create a buzz. So that's what one thing we're going to be doing. On the day, we're going to be obviously going to be vocal. We're going to create an atmosphere where we're going to be talking about the injustices, the abductions. But again, Masava is going to be the front figure there. We need to talk about, create a Q&A. Someone is going to be asking questions. What is going on? Why are you here? Who is this guy? And we'll be taking the people who are going to be visiting our demonstration stations, and we want to make it a little bit colorful. We're going to create a kind of a walk-in museum, whereby we're going to have all these gentlemen who have been abducted with their figures. You walk into the tent. We're going to be trying to erect some tents whereby people can come in and see different deformation of bodies of people who have been abducted during or before the election until now. So it's going to be a different kind of setup we're trying to roll out. So I can't wait to be on stage, or I can't wait until Friday to really get this message out to the citizenry in Europe. So whoever is in the diaspora, whether you're a noob guy, whether you're not in politics, try to show solidarity to this gentleman. Yeah, he needs your support, and he needs to be released unconditionally. You don't tell me someone leaves his foreign work and comes to Uganda, and then you abduct him and accuse him to be burning down the market. That is ridiculous. That's something we're going to be fighting. So he's released unconditionally. So, guys, that's all we're going to be rolling out. Be tuned in on our Twitter. We're going to be posting stuff on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, and yeah, that's pretty much what I can say. We're rolling out, and I can't wait until we get to business. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Comrade, for that submission. And audience, we welcome your questions. I can read some comments as we wait for questions. Kasozi Liz writes, hashtag Ugandans. The earlier we realize we are captives in our country, the better. Free Masaba, Ugandans rise up to get rid of Museveni's 40 years dictatorial regime. All that impunity will come to pass. Museveni will be held accountable and answerable to all atrocities against humanity. People power, our power. And one reads, where was the number of comments? Thank you, first of all, for attending. Kunga, this is Lule Kawesa saying, Kunga, Uganda, Kunga, people power, our power. Dictator Museveni, stop kidnapping, torturing, and killing Ugandans. Maybe as we wait for calls, and as we wrap up, I think currently we cannot help but also address the ongoing debate, the Mabat Gate or the Mabat scandal. Recently, the UK imposed sanctions under the Global Anti-Corruption Sanctions Regulations 2021 Act that have targeted or that have sanctioned Goreti Kitutu, that is one, Agnes Nanutu, and then of course the big fish here is Anita Among. And I think that people, of course, people are reacting and they're giving different responses. Some are saying Uganda is a sovereign state, so how can the EU interfere in our affairs? But I think they really need to understand what the global anti-corruption sanctions are really about. First of all, the UK is a development partner. Ladies and gentlemen, they pay a lot. I mean, they give a lot of money in terms of development aid. So by virtue of that, they have a say in our development issues. They have a say in our governance issues, and the corruption is one of our problems. So clearly, he who pays the piper calls the tune. So I mean, hey. There is no way. They are paying, they're funding our development, so they must have a say in what is happening. But here's the thing. The global anti-corruption sanctions regulations that we enacted in 2021 stipulate that those who facilitate or profit or try to cover up serious corruption, as well as all those who make efforts to prevent authorities from carrying out investigations, or all those who try to subvert justice, will be sanctioned. So as far as we're concerned, the issue of corruption came up in Parliament But we saw that Anita Among did not want to address this issue. If anything, she started calling people bum, shafters, she went nasty, and she thought she was above the law. But of course, now things have caught up with her, and she's being investigated. And really, I think the information nowadays is that she has investments, or she has had investments in terms of having houses, having bank accounts. Her children are studying there, so things have gotten very very interesting. But Museveni, of course, let me remind our EU audience that the national resistance movement, they use corruption as corruption is the cornerstone of their party, of the NRM party. So Museveni uses political patronage and clientelism to control his party, but he also uses that to weaken opposition, to soil their hands, so that they have no moral ground to speak, to ask him or to hold him accountable. So this is really what Museveni does best. So for the speaker to be this corrupt and to be pillaging a lot of money from the public offers, this is the way they operate. This is their modus operandi. So really, I want us to talk a little bit about this, and then maybe we wrap up. Comrade Weiss, what is your take on this? You've given her a mouthful, but what is your take on this one?
For me, my take to all these things that we discussed, I have discussed with my brother Robert so often. We have identified the problem. The challenges are not going to stop. We must focus on the problem, and the problem is a governance problem. It is a problem that, if you see what we are going through as Ugandans, to inform the world, but also inform those in government that what you're doing is wrong. I've had Robert here explaining we shall have this demonstration. And, these guys, not until they are slapped with statements and sanctions will they come out and accept that there is a challenge. When many of the corruption scandals of the speaker, and with time, will be vindicated, because many will come out beyond even what people are seeing. When I characterized her as a mafia, I knew what he had done under 6 months in the office of Deputy Speaker. Because in the biggest time of Jacob Olanya's tenure, she was in acting capacity. It must also be a shame that Uganda can reach to an extent to have a person with the character of Anita Among as its speaker. Now, you will fail to contextualize my statement if you want to, but looking at the character and the persona of the Honorable Anita Among, there is nowhere a person in charge of a working system, a person in love with the country, would go for a mercenary to be the third highest person in the hierarchy of the country. We gave our country to a robber in daylight. That is why I excited her unprecedented luxurious lifestyle has not been noticed anywhere. When she became deputy speaker, she bought a home in Tina, she bought a home in Kololo. She is now having a home in Bukedea. She is building a home in Chigo, and this should speak that she did not have these things. She has just arrived and now rushing to acquire what she had as dreams. These are the facts. And then you have the head of state who will tell you that no, come on, we want as long as somebody is corrupt, but investing in Uganda, we have no problem. None of these corrupt officials is investing in Uganda. Investment is not only in infrastructure, investment is also in academia. All of them, their children are abroad, where you are men of you. And it is a shame. So the British High Commission, first of all, has Ugandans. One, that we are not, that Anita is not being pursued over because of homosexuality. Because this homosexuality bill itself is not for Anita Mongu. This was the bill of the Right Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga. And this bill of the Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga was subjected to court process by Museveni's henchmen and cohorts, the Andromedans. That is how that law was just been. In fact, on the floor of Parliament, the Prime Minister of Uganda, the then Right Honorable Mama Babazi, was against this law being passed. So it is very absurd. It is very appalling that we have a mafia speaker. She's not ashamed of doing anything. She's a pure day mafia. She will do anything to be where she is. She will do anything to take whatever she wants to take. And we must fight this as a people. And I've had a few apologies, corruption apologists, coming out boldly to make certain statements. They have said that she doesn't give a damn. Anita Mong has 2 children studying in Kent, studying and living in Kent. So if you're saying that they are being sanctioned and the British were being naive by saying you are paying school fees for children, you are directly having 2 houses under your name, and then you wake up and say you don't give a damn. She doesn't give a damn because it's not her money. It is stolen money. She acquired those properties through stolen money. She's only planning on how to steal other money such that she can have other properties. But it speaks volumes of the financial improprieties of our nation. Joe, you know, and Robert and my brother here, that our country does not have a governor Bank of Uganda now for all the period of over a year and a half. Which country can run its economics, its currency, its bank interest policies without a governor Bank of Uganda? This is an institution, and this is a legal requirement. But because our country is in the hands of General Museveni, then we are supposed to condescend of all that corruption. That itself, not appointing a governor of Bank of Uganda, is corruption on this part of the head of state. But you know, a person who can steal election steals the soul of the country. A person who robs a country of an election robs the soul of that country. There is nothing they will not coordinate about taking. They will steal the money, they will steal the public infrastructure property, because these are the very people who have hidden again behind the custodian board and stolen public property. They have awarded themselves chunks of land, taken government funds, because these are not originators, they are destroyers and messers.
Thank you very much, comrade, for that submission. Yes, Robert, what is your take?
Anita Monk, what can I add? Corruption.
Yeah.
Now, corruption. I mean, it's very inconceivable that we're sitting here debating Anita Among, in a civilized and well organized economy or country. She would have been gone for ages. So how can you have a corrupt person setting policies, because policies are on which our country or economy runs are run through the parliament. You have someone who is corrupt. What bills are going to be passed there? The bills are already compromised even before they pass. You look at what is going on right now, the efforts and stuff. So I mean, we just have to soldier on. I mean, we are where we are because the country is falling apart. So whether we speak of among many times, it is not going to change. We have to make the decision of how to make and bring back Uganda to where we want. So with that, it will need a concerted effort of all Ugandans who want a better Uganda. So let's not discuss among, it's a disgrace even discussing her seriously. She shouldn't be even sitting there a day or two. Thanks.
Thank you. So it's down to reclaiming our country. That is really what should be done. Comrade Mogisha, what is your take?
Yeah, I thank you very much. It's laughable because though I wasn't so much into active politics, but I remember Anita Monk in FDC, how he was looking, and someone can tell you couldn't say that he even owned a 50 by 100 plot of land, even in the suburbs of Kampala. But in just a space of not even 20 years, they will tell you he's one of the biggest landlords in land. And you hear the president says that I've told the IGG to check on the issues if he had if he declared the land. What is she going to declare? And I think in declaration should be how you acquired, but not only declaring that I declared I have 2 phones, but the question should be how did you get the 2 phones? And so they are trying to play tricks here, whereby the IDG will come out. She declared all of that, but the question is, how did you acquire them? in the space of not more than even 10 years. How did you acquire them that you have such wealth in a space of only not even 5 years or so many, when in the last years you didn't even have a 50 by 100 plot of land within the suburbs of Kampala, later on I could say Nansana or even Wakiso. So that issue of Anita Among, some people, when you hear someone speak about that the UK or the UK doesn't have the moral authority to sanction her, I would ask a question that when you read the budget of Uganda, we have some funding whereby we ask money from the IMF, from this government. We have developing partners, we have a lot of projects being funded privately by this government. You can't tell me to give you my money and you don't want me to know how my money is being used when we signed an agreement that I must, look on how my money is being used. And on top of that, I would urge you, us in the diaspora, we should question the foreign affairs ministries to urge their embassies back home to put in supervising the projects of this government, because these embassies, if they were really focusing on, because one of the roles of embassies and consulates is to supervise the projects of their donor countries. So if they do their work, for example, if the Swedish embassy back in Uganda is doing its work to supervise, to see if the money of their country is being put to use, we shouldn't be even discussing this here. These embassies would be the ones even telling their government that, what, the money you're giving in is being swindled. So we should also think about that same action. And on top of that, this lady is really a cunning lady. Really a cunning lady, not in a very wise manner, but in a very stupid, foolish manner, whereby he does things as a child, in a way how she speaks in parliament, gagging the members of parliament who rise up to speak about his issues. You saw how they did to Techikubo. You see what she did to our comrade Honorable Zake. So he is doing his things with a lot of impunity, with a lot of lies, because the UK can't come from heaven and sanction you when it doesn't know that you have properties in their countries. They do research. We are in these countries. We know how they act. That even if you own a cat, the government will know that you own a cat, because you have to take it to the veterinary. You will have to register it. So they don't come from heaven and do these things. He is trying to lie to Ugandans. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I don't do this. I don't do that. But that is another issue why she shouldn't be even sitting in that office as a speaker. Because a speaker who lies live on camera, you speak lies whereby the whole world knows about it, and the president comes and defends you when he knows what is right and what is wrong. It means that the whole country is a mafia state. Comrade Waisha spoke about the Governor Bank of Uganda. For sure, tell me a country which doesn't have a Governor Bank of Uganda, doesn't have an Inspector General of Police, who doesn't have all the vital organs of government are being held in captivity, and you say that this country is moving in the right direction. And when we are really going into the election season of 2026, That means 2025 will be a year of campaigns, and we don't have someone to regulate the finances of the country. That's why we are hearing a lot of crises, a lot of taxes, because no one is regulating. Someone will tell you the governor is not the one that runs the finances, but he is the head. He chairs meetings, you know. So if you don't have the chair of the meeting, how would you effect the resolutions of the meetings? So there is a lot of questions to be put on table, because you see, right now she was saying some bloggers are being paid by the previous speaker Kadaga to fight me after she says homosexuality. He brought the one of Kadaga right now after the UAE also sanctioned her, because she couldn't use the same kind of homosexuality with the UAE, because UAE is an Islamic state. So he has brought now Kadaga into the play. He is just trying to hold on two grasses, but she should know that these people use you and dump you. Let her go and question the Anderson rollers and the foreign ministers of previous who have been serving previously, how they have been used and dumped. And I think he's going into the same way. But our call should be more of not allowing dictatorship government staying for more years in the country, because we are losing each day that goes. We are losing. And on top of that, you will allow me tip this a little bit. You had the appointments of the DRDCs. These are machineries being hired to fight the National Unity Platform. They are not, there is no any other role that they are being enrolled for, because recently, today I was watching and they were saying some of our registrars who are registering our members are being, hindered by these DRDCs. Now their role is fighting NUP instead of doing the government role. So the whole country is like a comic book which needs to be put to order. I yield back to you, Comrade Joe.
Thank you very much, Comrade. The question of corruption remains very concerning, and we want the European Union audience, citizens, to know that actually dictator Museveni is being very disingenuous when he speaks about stopping when he talks about stopping corruption. We know that he's just playing to the gallery. This man has absolutely no political will to stop corruption. Just the last time he visited Amon in Bukedia, he was defending her. We see that when IGG wanted to institute a lifestyle audit, he stopped her, saying there will be capital flight from the country. So we do not expect him to fight corruption. We do not expect him, because it thrives. The NRM party thrives on corruption. He himself thrives on corruption. So his whole survival revolves around corruption. So there is no way he's going to stop it. What we are calling for is Amon to resign. I really think that is where the discussion should be shifting. Amon should resign. She's absolutely not fit for purpose. She has been found culpable, and pending investigation, she should step aside. If she does not resign willfully, she must be forced. So yeah, that pretty much brings us to the end of our program, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, but before we wrap up, Robert, so you raised your hand. Please come in. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to throw some light on what Mugisha said about the role of the embassies to how they should audit the projects they do in Uganda. They're really challenges. They're really paralyzed. Yeah. What happens is that Museveni has been in power for quite some time. So what has happened is that he's infiltrated and has captured most of the institutions. The institutions that you would think they're non-governmental organizations that have been infiltrated. A good example is the human rights things. So these guys, the foreign development partners, they give us aid in good faith, and they feel that the people running these projects are going to run them in good faith because they feel they want to empower. They don't want they don't want to feel pretty much policing some of these projects. They think the people who are there, especially in the NGOs, that they are really going to do the work for these underprivileged people in our society. But guess what? Most of these organizations, what the development partners seem to be more grassroots. They've been so infiltrated that the little funds that really end up there still get to be swindled. That's how the entire institutions have been captured. Even the NGOs, the institution, you will think they will do stuff for the people on the grassroots, have been really run down.
Wait.
For you.
Well, the Minister not agree, but one thing that could make a really big difference to this appalling,
which would really need to really wash away, and it will, like I said before, it will require a lot of commitment by every woman and man in Uganda to wash away this epidemic. Thanks.
Thank you. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've really come to a close, and I would like now to wrap up, beginning with Comrade Mugisha. Please give us your closing remarks. Thank you.
Yeah, I thank you very much and for the opportunity. First of all, I would love to call upon all the members in the EU to adhere to our chairman's call and be there in numbers to show our dissatisfactory mode of how the issues of Masaba and other abducted members of the National Unity Platform is being handled. I would love to call upon the members back in Uganda to register and be fully registered members of the National Unity Platform. And I would love also to ask our comrade White Mfumbiro
ndabye ne Wizo bimutandiseeko era bavaayo abantu ab'enjawulo. Wizo tumuyambe, Wizo tumuyambe. Kakati omuntu wambe mutwaga omuntu twogerere mu kamera.
Omanyi kamera zino nazo zaga nezijjako kabamba. Kati Wizo oyagala mugamba ko wasemba muno nyako di wano. Omanyi kye kimutawaanya. muna stress yenseno mugimanyi golaba gwe obera stress go mukazi anobye lwaki guteyagala wiza bera stress nga mukwano gwafu kati so stress buli omwaji handlinga mulala
ate handlinge bali omwe
munonye nga ffe tumunonya nayogera naye wano
tabalemeredde
kati kyogamba mwizire wano tazo atulemerera tumulaba just abatinyi abamwagala ate gomwadde n'amusojja otalavu yonna getwali tumuwadde nakonsetrati nga kugomwa mukozi naawe abadde amuli obubisi ngaotuyamba okuva leero notutandika tupushingira wizo tuleto kubanga topo agimanyi yali agibadde tugamba nti omusindika gyatamanyi naye gwe bilwotoolako mukulowooza nti obuulirira naawe kijja kuddira kubanga gwe hawushuwayo ku future olyokoye otandika okutematema eyamulala oyinza okuba nga ogenda kuba na waasi gani oli gwe gogezako okusojja kubanga bannanga ebyensi bino tulabya abantu tubyambidwa tubadde kuggulaawundi tulabya abantu nga tonagyeyita kubuulirira muno namusojja kuba nnyo tooki gy'olaga nigy'ovudde otegeere ennaku ekwolekedde osejjeyo ya munno mpola oba mwekwatekwate ne munno mwonna mulwanire future agali awamu gajja kuluma eki kuba naawe olina obunafu bwo nga tunalaba bwa wizo wizo waffe mumuleke wizo icon wizo star wizo legend yowabayo ekitiibwa ekisuka legend kyemba mutuyambo tuwe yani
nange munansonyiwa negatse ku tiimu kabaka aluwa nange kati njagala kumulabako mwamirumu yazze nansomera ebitabo 15 nga kabaka ne mu myaka egyedda bamubanjanga abantu okumulabako abantu abakungu ne bamugamba tolabikayo kabaka nagande bantu bange nteeka okulabika kati nange njagala kulaba ku kabaka.
A lot of new political parties being registered already. Some they are, said to be from our previous members who are trying to fight us from within, with the support of
if you don't know particular,
but we should remain strong. We should iron up our gears because the war is on. Just going to be a lot of actions are going to happen as we draw near to the elections. A lot of disappearance, forced disappearance, a lot of things are going to happen. So we should collect our manpower to dismantle all this. As the Vice Chairperson of Europe chapter, I say thank you very much to all people out there supporting the struggle, supporting the National Unity Platform. Let's go and register to be full members of the National Unity Platform. And as I said, Comrade Waiswa, you want
my boss. Yatambudde nga simanyi ekyagenze namukubiranga we must get explanation. We must. What happened? Ate tuteeka okubimanya ate kifuddeyo nze tebakyankubira bigambo nakirowoozezaako ntenzeka.
Out with this, but something should be done so that our members in diaspora also start to be registered and become full members with IDs of the party. I thank you very much.
Ono yomukubala bikidde mukataami aduse oyo gumulabya aduse wa boda bebamwa betabye mukataami akagamba mbu ababoda baganye president okujja Masaka kati wenjogerera bino mukaseera kano buli yakyogera yebuzabuza bwebuzabuza wadduke emisindo omulengera ali mukyeremeto wano kansa meya w'Ekalungu abadde amuggyeko n'ekisumuluzo ng'amubuuza obuyinza gye yabujja olaba mulabya bwadduka abo be baali mu kavidiyo sebo akalabikira eno e Masaka mbu bagana pulezidenti okujja e Masaka kikyamu nnyo kati tibalina ne bwe badda lwamu beebwalabwala bwebwazibwazi elementi bazijja ku mitwe.
Where I would be sure that I will not fail. And this speaks.
Nange munansonyiwa negatse ku ttiimu Kabaka aluwa nange kati njagala kumulabako. Mwamirumu yazze n'asomera ebitabo 15 nga Kabaka ne mu myaka egyedda baamubanjanga abantu okumulabako. Abantu abakungu ne bamugamba tolabikayo. Kabaka n'agamba bantu bange nteeka okulabika kati nange njagala kulaba ku Kabaka. If you don't know Katikiro watu manyi Kabaka kiriwo gamba nti nange I was Saturday he's my boss yatambudde nze nga simanyi eti yagenze namukubira ngato. We must get explanation. We must. What happened? Ate tuteekwa okubimanya. Ate sikifuddeyo nze tebakyankubira bigambo nakirowooza kyako ntenteka.
Running time. I want to thank you, Comrade Joe, Comrade Robert. I have met physically.
Mwasaba Kabaka babamuwadde. Abagambanga nti natwali wajjanjabi bwe bamututa okumujjanja.
Laba nno gwe basasula okwasamira n'okulya mu nsi y'olukwe gwenna kawuuta toddamu kutwasamira. Bw'oba olaba Kabaka ali mu mbeera nnungi omutunuulira akusanyusa. Yenna musajja wattu ayambadde ogugatto gulinga gwe baakajja mu kirombe ky'omusenyu. Kyemwagala otugamba nti bwe yabadde agenda ewa muganda we yatambuza bigere obugatto kwe kubeera nga gufaanagana bwe gutyo. Gye yagenza okukyala yanyirira bulungi akubye engatto eyamusonzi n'eraba Kabaka bw'afaanana. Temwagala twogere. Kati atera kubayo okutugamba nti abasawo baagambye Kabaka akole edduyiro ewa muganda we yatambuzaawo bigere. Kale tukitegedde nti nno munnange wasomadde buli y'obusiru naye ate totulaga nnyo toddamu kutwasamira gwenna kawuuta. Babasasula kulya mu nsi yammwe lukwe. Oli Muganda naye tosobola kubayo wadde okulwanira ku Kabakawo. Oli mu kwasamirira kusiriwala kusimba mannyo. Gasiya.
And we are being heard. That is why I say there.
My Lord, will the Minister not agree that one thing that could make a really big difference to this appalling situation would be a change in regime and free and fair elections? He will have noted that the European Parliament concluded that the last elections were neither free nor fair and in fact were violent. And what more can we do to ensure there is this multi-party democracy? And will he find time to meet the outstanding new leader of the opposition, Joel Sessegnoni, who is a brave young politician who deserves our support?
I thank my noble friend. I would just say that we will work with any government of Uganda. They are important allies, they're members of the Commonwealth, they are doing important work elsewhere in Africa for peace and security. But it is only through having a good, friendly relationship with a country like that we can state how appalled we are at legislation such as this. And so obviously we want to promote free and fair elections at every stage, but the government of Uganda is the government of Uganda. They are doing great things in support of peace and security in Africa, and we support that. But this is an unacceptable regression of freedoms and personal rights.
It's not only the voice of government that needs to be heard, it's the voice of civil society. And I've welcomed the government's contribution in the past to the Commonwealth Equality Network. But we can do more, making sure faith voices are heard, making sure trade union voices. What is his department doing, working with the international trade union movement, who have very good policies on this, to influence people in those countries? So it's not just seen as a UK government action, but it's a civil society action that can be appalled at these laws.
I think I can reassure the noble lord. I met with our High Commissioner to Uganda this week, And she gave me details of many of the projects we are doing with civil society, with organisation. And some of our overseas development assistance money goes, for example, funding grassroots efforts to shift attitudes on gender-based violence, and there are many other things that we are doing. And he's right that many faith-based organisations are key to this. One of the unfortunate drivers of this legislation has been promoted by an evangelical view of Christianity, and not one that many of us who would ascribe to Christian values being one of compassion and kindness. It seems to be one of quite the reverse. And I know that many faith-based organisations want to have nothing to do with that and want to try and correct that. And we will work with anybody who is seeking to support people affected by this legislation.
They are known anti-NUP, they are known as well, so it was expected from them, first of all, to listen to me, but
ab'ebyokwerinda omubadde poliisi n'amagye olwaleero basinzeko ekyali ekitebe ky'ekibiina kya NUP ekikadde ekisangibwa e Kamwokya. Enguudo ezimu eziriraanye ekifo kino zisaliddwako okulaba nga ab'ebyokwerinda tebataataaganyizibwa. Abantu abamu omubadde n'abayise bavudde ku mirimu gyabwe okumanya ekibadde kigenda mu maaso. Oluvannyuma lw'essaawa nga 3 bano baabulidde ekifo kino era abamu ku bakozi ba NUP ne batubuulira bwe bibadde.
Tubadde tuli wano tulengera amagye ne poliisi ag'ebika ebyenjawulo ne bayimiriza oluguudo eri ne basalako oluguudo n'eri ne basalako oluguudo ne baba nga tebakyakkiriza muntu wa bigere oba mwana muto oba muki nayita wakati nze nga nze mbadde wano naye nga nyimiridde wali eri olubalabye ne nyimiriramu wali eri ne ngamba kandabe kati oluzze wano kubaddeko n'ekimotoka kya faya nga kuliko amadaala ne bajja ne basala eyo kufulu awabaddewo kufulu naye eyo kufulu ndala eyo tutaddeko ne bakwata n'eddala ne bagenda ne babuuka eri ne bayingira ne basangamu omuntu abaddemu kuba mulimu asulamu bwe bamusanze mufe nze ne neetooloola wali eri waliwo akageeti kali ak'emmanju ne bakakuba nako ne bakamenya ne batandika okuceekinga obwedda nnengerera wali mu kuceekinga ebintu mu kageeti kali akatono naye amagye ne poliisi nga tebakkiriza muntu yenna kusala wano.
Mu ngeri y'emu ab'ebyokwerinda era basazeeko amaka g'omubaka wa Makindye East Derek Nyeko nayo ne baazaayo. Tukitegedde nti eno nayo baliko bye batutte.
Engato z'omwami wange ntino z'abasirikale, these jungle boots ne overalls zino ze bakoleramu mu field, ntino ya counter terrorist bazambala ekiro ne batta abantu. So nengambo oyo musirikale, that's really a huge word. Lwaki oba oyogera ekintu ky'okutta abantu. For him, he was on a mission to insert something that he didn't find.
Ssaabawandiisi wa NUP Lewis Lubongoya avumiridde ekya poliisi okulumba ofiisi zaabwe ssaako amaka g'omubaka Nyeko.
Tetunategeera kiki kye banoonya kubanga ffe tuli kibiina kya byabufuzi ekiri registered mu mateeka. Tetusuubira nti tulina ekintu kyonna kyonna ekimenya amateeka kye tubeera nakyo era tubasuubira tunyonyola kiki kye babadde baliko kye badde banoonya.
Okusinziira ku mwogezi wa poliisi mu Kampala n'emiriraano Patrick Onyango, olwaleero lwe batandise ebikwekweto byabwe okusaggula bonna abalina ebyambalo ebyefaananyirizaako ebyamagye era batandikidde ku ofiisi za NUP zino ezisangibwa e Kamwokya.
Naye abadde abantu abasinga baganya okutuwuliriza nga balowooza nti tusaaga busaaga. Leero tuvuddeyo okutandika okugyayo ebintu bino mu mikono gwa abo balina nga bateekako bebeera nabo. Leero twagenze Kamwokya awo mu ofiisi ezimu ne tuzulayo ebintu bino bibaddewo bingi ne tukwatayo omuntu omu eri mu sayidi ya Katwe waliwo omubaka wa Parliament twagenze mu nnyumba ye tusanga ebintu ebyo bintu bingi gye twaggyeyo ye nga Honorable Nyeko tumukwata.
Okuva lwe baafuna woofiisi empya ezisangibwa e Makerere Kavule, aba NUP bategeeza ng'e Kamwokya bwe wagenda okufuulibwa ebbanguliro ly'abannakibiina mu by'obukulembeze. kinajjukirwa nti aba NOP balangirira dda nga bwe batandise okuwandiisa abantu baabwe okwetoloola eggwanga era bwe badde batandise okukiikira ab'ebyokwerinda ensingo olw'okugezaako okuzeekiikamu. Shamim Naiga, NTV, Akawungeezi.
The army spokesperson, and I described Anita's mafia. It took us over 10 minutes settling that. But today, Anita has been undressed, and everybody is seeing a mafia, not only in the I want to thank you for this platform. I want to thank you for this evening. Aluta continua, and I want to send our regards to the people of Europe. It's a long time I haven't been there, but I want to send our regards, and I want to send you regards from the Secretariat. My brother here said that you want to work with us. We are very available in the different departments. I know that the Secretariat in the registration process, I will advise reach out. I know they are part of this show now, and I will also have a discussion with them so that they reach out to you, the leadership, and inculcate this process in all our members across the globe. I thank you very much, and God bless you. People power, our power, NUP everywhere. For God and my country.
Thank you very much, Comrade Wise. Yes, this is a part
about cards from membership cards from the Secretary. Have been in contact, and we'll be getting the cards for our region here in the EU. So yeah, I was having a chat with our liaison, Marvin. So it's going to be sorted soon. Yeah. Yeah. Moving forward, today was a special edition for Masaba, and let's make it a very special edition for Masaba on Friday, the 17th of May, during lunch hours between 12 and 2 Central European time. We'll be on the streets. We'll be trying to make it very colorful. We'll try to make as much noise as we should, and we should really do him good. So I call upon everyone in the EU region, in wherever we have chapters, Sweden, where I'm based at, come and show solidarity not only to Masaba but to all brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, who have been missing, who are still under imprisonment, some of which we don't know their whereabouts. So you're welcome. If you can't make it, I just put our Twitter account in the comment section there. We encourage you to post. Yeah. Probably at some point we'll need to do a crash program on how we treat, but it's very straightforward. Just post Masaba, free Masaba on any platform, not our platform only, but the people who really needs to get this message. Museveni has a Twitter account. Janet Museveni has a Twitter account. You know, and then the institutions which are back home, all these embassies in Uganda have Twitter accounts. Bombard them with free Masaba. Yeah. Any institution which is on our ground needs to get this message. Yeah. So if you can't make it on site on some of the places where we're demonstrating. You can't demonstrate online. Post or tweet to every institution, international or otherwise, in Uganda about this case. It's just one enter button on the way. So that's all we can ask of you. That's the only thing Masaba would ask of you. Be in solidarity with him. So thanks again for listening to us, and follow us, and let's get on business on Friday the 17th of May in Europe, in the cities where we have chapters. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Comrade Robert, and thank you, comrades, panelists. Yes, we've drawn to a close, and we're very delighted to have had this discussion. Audience, please follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Again, in the run-up to the demonstration, which will be taking place on the 17th across Europe, we shall hold a Twitter space that is on Tuesday at 8 o'clock Uganda time, that is East African time, which will be 19 hours. 20 hours Ugandan time, or 8 hours PM, which would be an equivalent of 7 o'clock Central European time. So we are going to have a Twitter space. We invite you to join and to participate. This is again to protest the arrest, the abduction of Comrade Masaba, and many others, but above all to demand for his unconditional release. Masaba did not commit any crime. When he spoke truth to power, when he spoke truth to dictatorship, he did not commit any crime. He merely exercised his constitutional right to freely assemble and freely speak out whatever he wants to speak. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for attending. And this is a continuation of our ongoing dialogue with the EU, with our brothers and sisters down on the ground. This is your channel. Please share the channel or refer other people to this channel to listen to what we've discussed today. So thank you very much. Comrade panelists, thank you very much for attending. And here I can see Namukasa Jones, Joeli Naiga, Pam Kawan Kayaga, yes, many others. Wadada Paul, Christina Katende, Lule Kawesa. Thank you all for attending. Selma the Revolutionist, Trisha, Trisha. Thank you very much for attending. And we look forward to hosting you again. Our program is held every Sunday at 2 o'clock Central European time, which is 3 o'clock Ugandan time. But follow us; you'll get all those updates. We thank the different channels that have relayed our program. In particular, JB Mwange, we thank you. Olujulido TV, we thank you so much. Yeah, find all this
byebyo eggwanga lyaffe nga bwe liri Uganda n'obuzibu bwe tulina. Alright, byebyo biriwo eggwanga lyaffe Uganda, embeera gye tulimu n'ebizibu bye tulina olwa General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Kati nno kikakatako buvunaanyizibwa bwaffe okulaba nga Uganda tugitereeza nga tugigobamu nakyemalira General Kaguta Museveni, tusobole okuba n'ensi ennungi, kubanga ebizibu bye tulina ebya Uganda General Museveni singa tunajjawo ekizibu ekyo ekinene kyawanga, Uganda ejja tunyumira, Uganda ejja tuwoomera, Uganda tujja kujaagala nnyo, era Uganda ejja kuba nsi yaffe ddala, kubanga ejja kubanga etambula bulungi nga yeegombesa abalabi abayise naffe bannannyini enzaalwa zaawo nga tugyeyagaliramu ensi yaffe. Mbaagala nnyo mwenna abaliko bataayi mwebali kubaako, mwebali kutwagala notugobereranga. Dunda Lugaba Namugereka kitaffe, nsaba bankuumire, banywanyi mweraba.